In the morning, I have Algebra 1, Science, Chorus, and English. And then in the afternoon, Reading, French, and Social Studies.
Reading Edge, and then I go to Chorus, then I go to Social Studies, then I go to lunch, then I go to Science, then French, and then I go to Math, and then lastly I go to Language Arts.
The program's name is Urban-Suburban Connection, and the purpose of the program is to connect urban and suburban students from two different middle schools, in this case Trexler and Southern Lehigh, with a focus on art as a common denominator, as a way for the kids to communicate.
Art means to me like something that you can express through like your emotions and feelings.
I want my art to be enjoyed by people. I don't want it to just kind of sit around and do nothing.
The theme was Making My Mark. We wanted the students to address the issues of their own personal identities, where they've been, where they think they are, where they'd like to go, what they think there is about themselves, what personal qualities they have that make them unique and make them contributors to their communities. Well, we started with addressing the Making My Mark issue in creative writing. Mr. Barnett did that.
As a teaching artist in poetry and writing, my goal is to have them grow comfortable with writing in the forms of narrative poetry, journal writing, journal entries, and the personal essay.
The poetry was interesting. One of my favorite things that we did was we had to describe like a texture to describe ourselves. So that was interesting. For me, I chose slippery. One of the reasons is because I'm always falling down.
One of my poems I wrote about was how sometimes I am like soft and the other times I'm like gritty. I think my favorite thing that I did with Mr. Barnett was how like we made like the acrostic poems about ourselves.
And then the text was used as inspiration for paper collages, which were inspired by the writing. And then the paper collages were used as the basis for collagraph plates.
Claire taught us that sometimes you don't have any control, but that's a good thing because you usually get very surprisingly good results. I really liked how abstract her teaching style was.
Well, she had us make like paper collages of our two favorite colors because we learned about we wrote about our favorite colors with Mr. Barnett. So Mrs. Marcus, she had us make paper collages with those two.
We have these like journals, and every day at the end of class we write in them to a Southern Lehigh student, and then they write back to us and back and forth and back and forth. And in a week or so we're going to have a big event where we actually get to meet the students from Southern Lehigh and we all look at each other's artwork. And
our culminating event is how we like to wrap up the program when the kids from the Suburban school that follow the same program through the 8-week session get a chance to meet their urban counterparts, and the urban kids, the suburban kids. It's a big deal for us.
The things that we try to emphasize is that the actual faculty members from the schools participate along with the students. And that way the students get to see the teachers in a different light, and they get to have kind of a role model experience with the teachers as opposed to an authority figure, although we do maintain that authority figure role.
There's actually kind of an interesting thing about science. One of our teachers, the urban suburban teachers, is a science teacher, and she was talking about how we can use art and science. So I thought that was kind of cool.
You have to be an artist to do art. You don't have to be a writer to write. So I want them to see me kind of out of my classroom science lab context doing things that are really, that they probably wouldn't connect with a science teacher. It's an excellent program for kids. It gives them a chance to maybe develop some skills that they might not know that they have, and again, encourage them to continue the learning process outside the classroom.
I think it's had a powerful effect in that respect. I think the students get to experience contact with people who they normally wouldn't. And we do have students who come back 2 or 3 years in a row while they're in middle school. They encourage their siblings to participate. And so there is continuity in the program, which is a good report card, and it's exciting for us.
The benefits from the collaboration between the foundation and community partners, like the Lehigh Valley Arts Council, are numerous for our students, our families, and our entire community. Your support of the Foundation for Allentown City Schools will ensure that opportunities like the Urban Suburban program will be available for students in the Allentown School District in the future.